Hey Sagittarius, I'm going to be doing your monthly forecast for February 2019 for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. I'm using 3 different decks today, 2 tarot decks and 1 oracle. I'm using the Spirit Song Tarot that works through animals, the Goddess Oracle deck, and then I just got this Ethereal Visions Tarot deck that I really love. I definitely recommend it to anyone out there. It's a really beautiful deck. So I just wanted to share that. Before I begin, I am going to do an energy clearing. Alright, and I'm going to start shuffling the decks. So if you have any intentions for what you want to know for this month of February, just visualize it going into the cards as I shuffle. Take a nice deep breath and just really ground into the reading. So I'm using a 7-card spread, if I haven't already said that, for the month forecast. And I'm shuffling the oracle deck. And then the last deck. Alright. Well, let's start, Sag. So for where you're going to be at in this month of February, we have a reversed King of Wands. Wands are fire signs, Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. So this could be you, Sagittarius, or it could just be your situation or someone you're dealing with. Give me a moment to reflect over this card. So I feel like before I can define this card, I need to pick the next card to make sure I'm that I'm gonna be seeing all this clearly. So for the inner focus, we have a reversed 3 of Swords. Swords are air signs, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Give me a moment to go over this. So it's either you or somebody else, but I'm getting the feeling that you are either being intolerant of others and their ruthless behavior and you're becoming really impatient with it and it's hurting you and it's like really impulsive behavior, or you could be the one acting this way, Sagittarius, since this isn't the placement of you and it is, Wands are fire signs and you are a fire sign. But you could also be dealing with a fire sign, or like I said, this is just your situation and it's not you. But if it is you acting ruthless and impatient and, it could be hurting other people around you, or vice versa. Others could be hurting you because they're acting impatient and ruthlessly and just being very impulsive in their behavior. Whatever it is, there needs to be some forgiveness in this situation. That is really the main inner focus, and some healing and recovery. So you guys, with whether you or multiple people, can reach clarity in this situation. I just feel like there's a lot of backstabbing happening, like, and that's where, you know, you can see in the symbolization there's like swords stabbing into this heart. So someone's getting hurt in this situation, or already has been hurt, whether it's you or somebody else. And it's time for this situation to reach a resolution and reach some clarity and some forgiveness. And finally, then you can make the amendments happen and the healing can come in. Because the inner focus in this placement is all about what's happening internally. So what I'm getting from that is that it's going to be really important for you to sorry about that. It's going to be really important for you to finally, like, reach a place of balance in that area so the healing can begin. Or else, if it doesn't happen and the forgiveness doesn't take place and the clarity isn't brought into the situation, I think it's just going to become more difficult and more painful. So whoever you could be going through with in this situation, or whoever you're causing this to, there needs to be, like I said, a resolution, so no more pain can be, you know, brought into the situation, and then healing can begin. At least that's what I'm getting from that. Because fire is also your actions, and the wands has to do with, like, your actions and how someone is behaving. So yeah, however you're acting out, or someone else is acting out, there needs to be light shed on the behavior, and it needs to be modified, and it needs to reach, like I said, a resolution so things can be worked out for the better. For the outer focus, we have the Emperor. So I think this is kind of coming up to remind you, like, you are in control of this situation. You're in control of how you're going to react to it. You're in control of what you're going to put into it. You know, how you're going to move forward from it. You have the power in your hands to do what you want in this situation, to make it, you know, for your better, or just for the better of the whole entire of the situation with those involved. I think you're the one who seems to have a better understanding of what's the right thing to do, and you're kind of like using your masculine energy. It would be good to use your masculine energy to take the right proper action, to be in your power in this way and set things in the right direction, because you have the authority to. Whether it's you're dealing with family members or coworkers or friendships, a partner, whatever, the ball is in your court, basically. This is what this is showing. So you just kind of have to remember that, so you can direct things in a better direction, where it's not just going to continue to come up with this, like, tedious, painful, you know, how should I put it, like, baggage, just really heavy baggage, and just unneeded and unnecessary situations that are just very painful to deal with. I think it's up to you to make some changes and to rise above it, and to be in your power that way, to guide it in a direction that's going to be less in this stage and more in just being in a higher stage of authority, and, you know, being a better example from being a leader in your actions in this way. That's kind of what I'm getting. So if you're in a situation that's been really toxic, it's going to be up to you to be the leader, to guide yourself or those out of it, and be a better example. So maybe those that you're dealing with might feel inspired and follow it. And even if they don't, you just like doing that for yourself is what's the most important. So things don't stay so draining and toxic, you know, to your situation and to maybe, you know, the other person's. For how you're going to thrive this month, we have a reversed strength card. So give me a moment to go over this card. So I feel like the way you're not going to thrive, because I know this is in the position of thrive, but I'm going to start with what's going to hold you back from thriving. Because when this card is reversed, it signifies struggle, anger, rage, and pride. So I think it's going to be difficult for you to thrive if you're going to stay angry at this situation or this person or multiple people, and you're going to keep struggling with them, and you're going to be enraged, and you're going to be prideful about getting past this situation. I think that's what's going to be difficult to help you rise above it. But if you can just be like a lion, because this also is like for the sign of Leo, and even if you're not a Leo, but you're a fire sign, so you guys can connect in that way. It's just to remember the best way for you to thrive in this month in your situation is to reconnect with your strength and your true power that comes from within. Having the patience and the gentleness and the compassion to overcome all these obstacles and these really difficult situations you're dealing with whether it's with other people or with yourself or your environment, and resorting less to physical aggression. Because if you're going to be angry and aggressive, it's going to be really difficult for you to tame the beast within yourself and find balance in this whole situation. And if you really want to thrive, you got to find a way to tame that wildness within you when you get angry and upset when someone has done you wrong, or there's misunderstandings, or just, you know, you feel hurt by other people's actions or even your own. You have to find the will and the strength within you to move past it so you can, you know, grow and thrive and become a better version of yourself. Because if you're going to be in your pride, you're going to struggle finding peace and balance in this whole situation you're in and just with yourself. And, you know, that doesn't really feel good, and you know it doesn't, but I think you're just struggling because maybe you're just getting fed up with how you're being treated, and you want to be treated better, and maybe that's why you have all this anger towards the person or people you're dealing with, because you're like, come on, like, I've taken enough pain from you or from you guys, like, all this backstabbing, all this hurt, all this pain, like all this unnecessary drama and baggage, like, leave me alone kind of aggressive energy. That's what I'm getting, like, leave me alone. I think you're really wanting to stand in your power and stand in your ground and be firm about how you're going to let others treat you, or you treating other people. It can go both ways, but I think it's really important for you to recognize that you need to reconnect with your well of strength, because it's in there, and tame the beast, tame that wild animal within you, that lion, so you can finally reach, like I said, that resolution that can bring a peaceful outcome, which can then bring in balance in this situation. But you have to be able to find the forgiveness within you and to others, and the strength to be an example, and to just have compassion, because everyone's going at their own pace, with becoming aware of who they are and how they treat others. So if you can just be in your strength and be that example, maybe those who've hurt you will, you know, learn a lesson from that, or vice versa. If you've hurt others, this could just teach you a very wise lesson. So that's just what I'm getting from that. What's making you struggle this month is we have a reversed page of Pentacles. Pentacles are earth signs: Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. And it's related more to the material, physical realm. Give me a moment to go over this card. So I think the struggle, again, for you in this month of February is the ignorance in the situation, whether coming from you or the people or person you're dealing with. There's a lot of immaturity at play in this situation, a lot of resentment, and a lot of frustration. And that's what's causing this struggle, is just like there's too much tense energy going on from the person you're dealing with, or the people you're dealing with, or you, or the both of you. And it's not getting anywhere. It's almost like it's going in circles with this heated energy, and it's not like, it's not going to get any better if things are going to continue in this kind of way where you or them or both of you are going to continue to hold on to this resentment and this anger and continue to act immaturely in a way that's really ignorant to how it affects you or the other person. The only way to move past this is to really see things in a practical way and understand, like, nobody's always right in this situation. There's no right and there's no wrong. And I say that to a degree because some things can be right and some things can be wrong. But either way, like, somebody or both of you kind of have to realize, like, okay, like, nobody is perfect. Everyone is kind of making some kind of mistake in this situation. And even if it's not everybody making a mistake and it is literally one person misbehaving and you're like the other person who dealing with it, who didn't do anything wrong, whatever it is in this conflict, the only way for peace to happen is if both people let down their pride. Because even if you're in the right and the other person is in the wrong, the person in the right could be very prideful about, like, since they know they're right, they're kind of like shoving that in the other person's face, and that's making the other person act more arrogantly and holding more resentment, which is not going to help clarify and bring the situation to a peaceful place. It's just going to make the other person want to act out more in a wrong way. And then both parties are being in their pride in a different sense. Even if the other one's doing the right thing, they could still just being prideful about how they're reacting to the situation. So that's either you or the other person you're dealing with, but either way, there are people in this situation that are not letting down their guard, that are not trying to make amends, and they're really just on their high horse. And it's time to get off the high horse, come back to solid ground, be in the same place together, and really try to, you know, make some things happen and trying to clarify and forgive the situation so things can move on and forward and people can go back to being, you know, in a better positive frame of mind. And that's just being in your power. So whatever is going on, there seriously needs to be something that needs to come in that's gonna, like, bring you and the other person or multiple people together to make you guys realize, okay, like, it's either we're gonna keep dealing with this energy that's really toxic and painful and it's gonna continue on and neither of us are gonna get anywhere in this situation and it's gonna just be draining, or we're finally gonna let it go, take the lesson from it and be in your strength and rise above the negativity and be a better example so you can finally move forward and make better decisions. So that's just what I'm getting. That's just going to be the struggle. So if you don't want to have to deal with that kind of struggle this month, then you just need to be more practical and be in your strength to be able to get past this. That's what I'm getting out of that. And then for the advice for this month, we have Sage, quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. So I'm also going to read this card to you. For the advice for this month. Shh, dearest one, quiet your mind, breathe and let go of words, worry, and plans. Go into that space of silence deep within you, that vortex of peace where the world doesn't enter. Now is the time to retreat in silence and spend time alone. I'll lovingly help you rejuvenate and recenter yourself. Don't try to make any decisions now. Just allow your mind to be at rest. You'll know soon enough when it's time to take action. But for now, quiet your mind. Rest. Go on a retreat. Listen more and talk less. Avoid loud noise and sounds. Meditate. Surrender mind chatter to heaven. Know that you're more sensitive to noise now. Yeah, so honestly, that is pretty good advice for you, Sagittarius. And I'm really feeling the listen more and talk less. When you're in a conflict, if you guys are going to keep talking and yelling at each other and there's no resolution because you guys keep going in circles, the way to get past the situation is to hear each other out and really listen and really like understand where each side is coming from. So then there can be forgiveness set into the situation and peace can make its way in to then take the healing and move forward and be in your strength. So, and to take some silent time alone to reflect over like how you want to go about fixing this situation and making it right again. But the only way to do that is to have some quiet time to really contemplate and meditate over that and to just rest, to get space from all this really heavy negative energy. And when you do, then, like I said, the resolution can be manifested. So that's what I'm getting for that. And then for the lesson, to wrap up the month, we have 10 of Feathers, and in the tarot this would be the 10 of Swords, recovery and transformation, and it's the snake. So I'm also going to read this card to you. A master of spiritual renewal. Snake slides through changes with minimal effort as he sheds negativity and transmutes it into something self-empowering. In releasing destructive energies, Snake transforms from a lower vibration to a higher one. Snake will assist you through a metamorphosis and will help you regain your focus in the process by casting away old ways of thinking that hold you back. Your upward spiral will begin. Your reality depends on your perspective. Let yourself surrender to change and you'll discover that a revival within has begun. Keywords: recovery, transformation, rising above, time to move on, mental exhaustion, new hope. Yes, see, Sagittarius, this is exactly everything I was saying in this whole reading. It's all tying it together. So yeah, that is really a good lesson for you. It's just getting away this negative way of thinking that's holding you back from, you know, making peace with the situation and being the better person so you can transform and move away from this really toxic energy that's been mentally exhausting and just rising above it so you can finally move on and reach a new place of hope within yourself. And to just know, like, once you can surrender to this change, then better things can work their way into this whole situation. But you have to go through this transformation to finally get past like all these destructive energies. So to shed all this negativity, get off the high horse, be a better example, be in your strength and in your willpower, and better things will come from it. So that's what I'm getting from that. Alright, Sagittarius, well, that's all I have for you. I really hope this reading was helpful to you, and that if you want to do a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can go to the description link box below and go to my Instagram, Mystic Yasmin, and you can send me a message. Other than that, Sagittarius, have a blessed day, and until next time.